start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Dash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is the year 2000 Stumblingblock. Now I'm on this one particular road where I'm on a stumbling block. So I kind of wanted to land back off of that and kind of just say from my experience and the scriptures that the Lord has revealed to me, that whole year 2000 thing, which was a doctrine that was being taught back then. We went to the scriptures to go to certain scriptures as we desired, for the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua to come. As it says, to hasten the day. It also says in Luke 17 that the days will come that you will desire to see a day of the Son of Man and shall not see it. So Elder Pastor went into an example of Micah and the prophets that the Heavenly Father in the heavens had a council and sent a lion spirit into the mouth of Ahab's prophets, and they lied to him. They said that he was gonna win at Ramoth Gilead, but he was actually gonna fall and die there. Which I read it, I didn't know it was the same prophet, but now that I went back and read it, it's the same prophet that was sent to Bethel to pretty much curse Jeroboam out and pretty much, well, really to prophesy against the altar, that the Lord was going to destroy the altar, and the altar was destroyed by the Lord. And Jeroboam reached out his hand to grab the prophet, and the arm dried up. And Jeroboam prayed to the man of the Lord to pray to his power to restore his arm. The arm was restored. And Jeroboam told him, come to my house so we can eat and drink. And the man told him no, because the Lord told me not to eat or drink and not to go the same way where I came back. And he left. Now, there were the sons of this old prophet that happened to be there, and they went to their father and actually told him what had happened and what the king had said. And when they got there, they told the father, and when the father heard, he said, where did he go? And they said he went such and such a way. So they saddled him in the ass. He got on the ass and followed the man of the Lord. And he saw him sitting up under an oak tree. And the old prophet told the young prophet the prophet from the tribe of Judah to come home with him and eat and drink. And he told him the same thing. No, I was told not to eat or drink, not to go the same way where I came. So he pretty much repeated the same thing, the command that the Lord gave him. And then the old prophet said, well, I'm a man of the Lord too, and the angel of the Lord appeared to me. And he told me to tell you to come and eat and drink with me. But then it says, but he lied. So pretty much he lied so it was one prophet lying to another prophet, two men of the Lord, one lying to the other one. And nevertheless, he went with him, no questions asked, and he ate and drank. And as soon as he finished eating and drinking, the older prophet, the one that deceived him, the Spirit of the Lord came upon him and he cursed him out, and told him that he was going to die and he wasn't going to be buried with his fathers in his sepulcher. He said because he disobeyed the Lord, right? So he left. The old prophet saddled him up ass. The man got on the ass and left, and the lion met him and killed him. And the lion perched up next to the carcass of the man. And then you had a lamb actually sitting on the one side also. For years, I used to wonder why did one prophet lie to the other. And the moral of the story is pretty much to obey the Most High, no matter what. Not to put the trust in man. And that's what the Most High said, that the fear towards me is taught by the precept of men. And that's a big thing in Israel. You have a Jake that is always looking for something to worship, But the point of the matter is that this particular prophet lied to another prophet and caused that prophet to be put to death by his lie. Now the scriptures say that great men are not always wise, and like I said, people like to put Jacob on a pedestal, but that whole year 2000 thing was a stumbling block to those out there that really didn't want to do this and were looking for an excuse and a way out. You know, instead of just leaving or praying to the Lord to take that spirit off of them so that they can stay focused, they ended up falling out because that was where their mind was at anyway. Seeing after the whole split happened, because no one perceived that whole split happening at One West. Everyone always thought that once you came in the truth, all the men that you were there with were all going to make it. They were all men of the Lord, so on and so forth. So when that first split happened, that threw a lot of guys for loops, and a lot of guys didn't know what to do. Some of them went back in the world. Some of them stayed with High Priest Ariah and High Priest Shaw, and some men, like us, we went with King Mashab. And pretty much there kept being splits, after that. But when that year 2000 hit, that was the camel that broke the straw's back and caused a lot of guys to lose their faith or whatever little they had, and they just went back in the world. So that became a stumbling block unto them. Now here it is, 20 years later, from that point, and all these prophecies, even before the 20 years, but now that we 20 years in, the year 2020, year of prophecy, you see all these prophecies popping off. Now those men, the ones that are still alive that fell out back then, they're looking for ways to get back in. And for the most part, Yahweh said, if you put your plow down, you're not fit for the kingdom. Now, can the Lord have mercy on an individual that falls out and bring them back in? Yeah, that's entirely up to the Most High. We have the situation in the book of, the 3rd chapter of Zechariah. I said it that way for a reason. The 3rd chapter, you had Joshua, that had the filthy garments on him. He had Satan withstand him. And then those filthy garments were taken off him, and fair Mitri was put back on him. So that represents, a man of the Lord being in a dark place, so to speak, and then being restored back to favor with the Most High. The scriptures say great men are not always wise. And that's why King David said that man at his best state is altogether vanity. So there's times where, we all could come up short, but the point of that year 2000 thing was to test, to see who was going to be faithful to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and who was going to, just go along with man. And that's where a lot of guys fell out, because they looked at this whole thing from that situation that happened. They looked at the whole picture as not being right, and that the burden was too heavy to carry, so they pretty much cast it off. So I wanted to mention that, because there are instances in the scriptures where you have prophets that had lied to other prophets. The Apostle Paul said he caught the Corinthians by guile. So there's going to be certain times where you're going to have that happen. So the point of the matter is, are you going to trust in man, or are you going to trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, ultimately? So that's pretty much the gist of it, and that history on those two prophets, the older prophet that lied to the other prophet, that is and they were both men of the Lord, but that's just to show you that will happen. It's not impossible for that to happen. I believe King David also said, in my haste I said that all men are liars. Because man can say one thing, and really mean it to be able to do it, but can't accomplish it, because sometimes there's things that are out of our power. So the year 2000, the Lord coming back to destroy this place before the year 2000, that was hastening the day. That was us desiring to see one of the days of the Lord, and we're not able to see it. Now, to the faithful, they continued on, and the Lord's will to the end. And to the ones that were looking for a way out, that year 2000 became a great stumbling block. As to now, they're seeing that, that this truth is growing, and the prophecies are happening exactly how they were being taught and spoken of back then, because it was read from the scriptures, you know. So that was, my take on it. I just wanted to give a little land back, off of the video that Elder Apostle Tahar had put up. In Lord's will, you brothers were edified, and you have a broader or a better understanding of what took place. And there was another point that I had wanted to make that just came to mind. If the Spirit brings it back, I'll say it. If not, then I'll close the lesson out. But that whole the year 2000 thing was a great stumbling block that caused a lot of men to pretty much lose their faith. Those videos that you brothers see out there with us, back in the 90s teaching the year 2000 thing, that was pretty much us that put those videos up. No one found those videos and just and put them up. We put those videos up. Because at the end of the day, the Lord gave us the understanding of why that happened. So we weren't trying to hide anything. So we just put it out. The way that it was. And that was a doctrine back then. All of those different camps you see out there that teach, that come from One West, they all taught that at one time or another. But of course, the label of it always falls upon Great Millstone, because we are the outscouring. We're pretty much the so-called garbage disposal for everybody's dirt, that they throw upon us. But hey, so be it, because the scriptures say that the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai rested upon us for that. So with that, I pray that your brothers have been edified. Until the next time I say, Shalom.